Here we go. And welcome back to the Dean Obeidallah Show, Friday, February 20th. It's the third hour, so it must be what just happened. We have three returning champions. Tara Dublin's back. She's here, feistier than ever, writer, political commentator, author of the book The Sound of Settling, a rock and roll love story, available on Amazon. She has a Substack, which you sign up for, and now she's a guest columnist for Raw Story. Nice to see you, Tara.
Hey, it's always great to be with you, Dino.
So Tara's back. Leighann Lord's back. A headlining comedian you've seen on everything from Comedy Central, HBO, The View, so many shows on SiriusXM Progress, of course. She has a podcast, Skeptical Inquirer Presents. And are you still doing the People with Parents podcast?
It's not, I still leave it up because people are entering that phase of their life where they're caregiving and they're lost. And so those episodes are sort of historical and they're there for people to access.
And all right, and Alex Libutti's going to have to update me on other things. He's stand-up comic, host of the Hot Dog Hour radio show, and I do comedy with him almost every Saturday here in New York City. Good to see you, Alex.
Good to see you, Dean. Thanks for having me, man.
Libutti, that's what all the people, they yell Libutti. That's what his name is, because we're children. Every comedy's a continual frat party for the guys and girls who do comedy, because we're children and we never grow older, and it's kind of ridiculous. So let's continue. Just refer to me as Peter Pan. So the guy formerly known as Prince Andrew arrested this week for his, quote, dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, to be clear, the charge has nothing to do with him raping children, which it seems like he may have done, but has to do with him, the idea of giving confidential government information to Jeffrey Epstein to make money on it. But that was probably the payment for the children that he was raping. And that's what's going on. But look, in France, they're investigating. In Poland, they're investigating. In Norway, where are they not investigating? The good old United States of America, because we don't do that here. We don't hold rich, powerful men accountable, be Donald Trump or Democrat. So, Tara, as you're nodding your head, yes, what's your take, my friend?
My take is that Republicans don't care about raped children, is my take, because they're not doing anything to protect children, even though they talk out both sides of their mouths about protecting children all the time. If they really cared about children, they would hold Donald Trump accountable, period. And his name is in the files over 1 million times. And MAGA, it's not for good reasons. It's not because he was a good Samaritan swooping in there like Superman to save the children at all. And it's astonishing to me the way that Republicans are pretending like Donald Trump just isn't a person, which would be wonderful, but like a Nancy Mace not holding him accountable. It's all going to come back to bite them. If you're still loyal to Trump today, after what we know, you're just as guilty as he is, and you belong in prison right now, because whether or not you're the person who perpetrated the rape of a child or you're helping cover it up, you belong in prison, where pedophiles are the least popular of all the inmates.
Wow, I didn't know there's a ranking, but that would make sense.
I
had a former prosecutor on Glenn Kirshner this week who said Pam Bondi, in his view, is now an accessory after the fact, committing a felony because she fulfills all the elements. There's a crime there. She's concealing it, and she won't investigate anyone. Leighann, I mean, look, we know that rich and powerful men live in a different world. They have different system of justice. But this is so in our face that other countries are prosecuting. In France, they've already opened 3 investigations. In the U.S., over 1,000 victims. There's victims at the hearings going, we want accountability. And DOJ's like, well, we don't see anybody. We're just going to shut it down. If anyone was here, we would. This is what we're actually seeing, a cover-up I've never seen like this.
I wondered what people were really hoping would happen when the files came out.
Okay.
Like, did folks really get their hopes up? And I will say maybe, I was one of those people. I expected, maybe a couple of no-knock warrants. Would love to have seen a perp walk. I didn't invest in crypto, but I did buy some tar and feathers, and they were just sitting here going to waste.
You were ready. You thought maybe deep down there could be some kind of accountability.
Listen, I even dusted off my French. I picked up my knitting skills. I was going to be a little American, Madame Defarge, and just sit by that guillotine. But no, we're not doing that.
So Libutti, no guillotine, no anything? Like, I mean, look, you're a guy. You're not in the Epstein files, but like you're.
Well, do we know that?
Yeah, I was going to say. There's still another round.
Have you gone to it? There's this thing called J-Mail these guys made. I was watching on CNN.
Oh, it's so funny.
Which is like amazingly,
awesome.
Yeah, like you can research everything really quickly. It's on their website. So people should check it out. They have the whole, I want to go look at the one of flight logs. They have all the flight logs, everyone that's been on the flights and who was on, and one easy place to find all of that stuff. So Libutti, what's your take of this? I mean, the idea of they're not going to prosecute anyone, over 1,000 victims and not one investigation, and no one's like, what the F is going on?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that I think that Prince Andrew getting nabbed, I think to me it just shows Prince Andrew, you got to get your bands up, buddy, okay? You got to get that money up, Andrew. What's going on? I mean, I thought I don't know if the royal family's broke, but buddy, rich people don't go to jail, okay? So I don't know if this is the start of something that could snowball. I don't know if like I don't know if a president would ever get arrested. Like, I don't know if I could ever, like, it kind of reminds me of, I remember I watched a documentary a while ago about the financial crisis in 2008. And part
Right.
of what it was they were talking about all the banks were too big to fail and things like that. Sometimes I think of that, applying that here. It's like, what are you just going to arrest the president? And it's like, well, yeah, if he did something, then you should, right? No one should be above it. But I wonder if we're going to use an excuse like that again, because I kind of feel like we already are. I've heard like reports where people will say, well, we can't do something about it. Like everything will collapse. And it's like, there has to be some in between of like everything collapses or like everybody just keeps doing what they're doing. Like,
Nothing
So
collapses.
you're saying the analog to too big to fail is too pervy to prosecute?
too
Is that
big.
what it is?
Whoa.
Too rich to
Exactly.
prosecute. I mean, too big to fail. It's about money, right? So isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just too rich. This is my favorite episode of The Crown. I mean, I have to be honest with you. I liked it earlier, but this one, I didn't see this one. And they arrest the prince. I'm like, get out of here. This is the coolest episode. I look
On
forward-
his birthday. On his birthday,
That
too.
that
I mean,
felt
that is just
deliberate. That
did.
felt that's the level of petty I aspire to.
Right?
So
They
he
got
had-
it going on.
Did you see the? I sent you guys the link of the picture of him in the back of the car.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like-
man.
like
Oh, it's
this,
not a
it's
good
like
angle.
11
Not a good
hour.
angle.
I know, like if you're going to be photographed, like you're the prince. Well, he used to be. He's not the prince. He's just a guy. He's Andrew Mountbatten, which is of Windsor, which is still cool. Like I would aspire to still have a Mountbatten as a.
He's got nobody though. How every ex-president gets Secret Service. Like they don't get a guy who's like, hey, you got a picture that they're about to take.
Well, I think that I like how the king is like, we're going to let this play out. I'm like, you don't like your brother, do you?
Yeah,
I saw
that's
that in The
not-
Crown. I remember that was like, okay, now I get it. Like, because as opposed to like you let it play out, but you have these statements of we stand with him through these difficult blah blah blah. I say, nope. Of course, who stood with him is Trump. Yeah, Trump was on Air Force One yesterday and asked about it. Showed zero compassion for the victims. Zero. Tara was
Shocking.
all about how poor. It's so sad. And the king's coming next month, and he's the greatest guy. But
Oh,
nothing about
please.
children who are raped. Nothing. Just simply, and the exonerated bullshit, which we'll touch on in a second. But this is consistent with Trump. He's never shown any concern for women, only the guys.
I mean, he doesn't have any basic human attributes whatsoever. He has no compassion. He doesn't take accountability. He's the guy that's going to take everyone else down with him. So he's glad to see Andrew going first. It's like when someone has to shovel your walk before you do so that you don't fall. Andrew is setting that for him. I mean, Andrew wasn't charged. He was just questioned for 12 hours. So if Andrew can be questioned, if Bill Clinton can come and give testimony, which he's going to do, I would just like to see Trump questioned publicly by someone who knows how to ask him questions, and I volunteer. I totally volunteer.
You'd be so much better than the White House press corps, which are like.
I mean, he blocked me in 2015 on Twitter. I have a decade's worth of questions for this man.
I second the nomination, by the way.
Thank you.
It's kind of remarkable though when you watch the White House press corps. Sometimes one person will ask a challenging question, and then Trump will call them names, and the rest just move on like it never. Like someone gets whacked right next to them, they don't even look at the dead body. They go, "Hey, oh, okay, what about this?" They don't even care. There's no sense of like we're in this together, and we should be the fourth estate. We should be holding the president accountable. They don't. It's so, Leighann. I mean, the lack of a robust media, a corporate media, is bad for our democracy.
Yes.
And that's it. Leighann's like,
Who's
yes,
my
it is.
new bestie? Leighann is my new best friend right now.
I will say I don't know why we expect any level of compassion. He is consistently who he is. And in his mind, victims are losers, and he doesn't like losers. That's number one. Number two, I really think if he were now presented with the David and Goliath story, he would be very sympathetic to how they treated poor Goliath.
Oh, Poor kid's just
Facts.
walking around. Someone hits him with a rock. How unfair.
Yeah.
I didn't
He's
do
like Lenny
nothing.
from Mice and Men.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. He's totally Team Beowulf. Like, what
Oh my
is
God.
happening? He's rooting for Grendel.
He would root for King George against the colonists. He would have been all the loyalists. He would have been, if he was alive in 1776, he would have been in New York, which was
And he was.
full of loyalists and cheering for the king and the monarchs over the colonists. They're terrible people. They smell, thugs, all that kind of stuff. So,
He wouldn't have taken down the Bowling Green statue.
no, it's kind of, well, I like the fact I've learned more and more over recent years how much of the Revolutionary War was fought where I sit now, where I live. And it doesn't get
crazy.
much press. Everything's like Boston Tea Party and all kinds of stuff. Manhattan was really big. The British headquarters is where the UN is. They hung Nathan Hale where a Pier 1 Imports is on the upper east side. There's a plaque there. I'm not even kidding. In the 70s, Nathan Hale, that's what he's down. At least he got a plaque. Nathan Hale, he was a spy for us. They hung him, and that's where they put him. And Kips Bay, which the movie theater, that big movie theater is there, is where they snuck back over the U.S. soldiers. Well, they were the Revolutionary Continental Army from Brooklyn. The Battle of Brooklyn. We lost the Battle of Brooklyn, which I think we're winning it now. I think. I'm not really sure.
Battle of Brooklyn.
That's like a cool thing. It seems like a Beastie Boys song. Like the
I mean, it's
Battle
all
of-
you're just talking about Hamilton right now, which I wish I could make all of MAGA watch Hamilton like Clockwork Orange style, so that they could understand the pride that we used to have in our country and what our founders actually fought for and why. That would be a glorious thing if they could actually learn the history that they're refusing to learn and they're dooming us to repeat.
You know,
That'd be awesome.
I never expected to get a positive Clockwork Orange reference.
But there it is.
Hey, new
there it is
bestie.
for you. Right? Right? We're so right here,
We're still
Leighann. I
there.
think I'm going to have to
We're still
move
there.
in with you. Yeah.
Hey.
You're across the ocean. You guys are across the country. You're in Portland. You're in New York. So
Make it
it's
happen.
interest-
We'll still make it happen.
It's interesting to see, like, how does Trump distract from this? Now, he was given a loss, but a win on distraction. The Supreme Court today on tariffs, which we really don't have to talk about, but that got him some. But we have a huge flotilla of ships going to Iran. And I think this increases the chance that he's got to bomb Iran to distract from Epstein. I mean, at least my sense. Libutti, what do you think? How do you think he distracts? What do you think? Sex tape? I mean, what does he do?
Say it again. You said, how do I think
Sex
he
tape?
what?
Yeah, how does he? Did they release a Trump sex tape to distract from Epstein? Like, what do you think? How does Donald Trump distract from Epstein? Because it's going to dominate the weekend shows because the prince is involved, a former prince.
Yeah, I it's funny because it's like every time it's like you said, the thing I'll give him credit for is that every time I'm like, there's going to be no distraction from this. I'm like, wow, they have another one. Like, so, I don't know. I feel like he was kind of caught off guard by, for example, like the Prince Andrew arrest. Like, I feel like he definitely did. Like my girlfriend texted me yesterday and she was like, dude, did you see? And I was like, no way. Like, because I felt like he answered it like, like when your friend is in trouble in school and you're both doing the same. And he's like, well, it was cheating. Sometimes you cheat on a test or something. That's what he was kind of like.
Right.
So I feel like the distraction almost maybe will be like nothing. Like I feel like his like playbook is either distract or just be like, oh, what that? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, guys, yeah, what were we saying? Like I feel like he'll just kind of like mull over it and be like, yeah. I know Prince Andrew. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, guys, going on Prince Andrew again. Like he kind of will do something like that.
He tried. I mean, Tara, yesterday on Air Force One, he said, I'm totally exonerated, which I love it. And by the way, to remind people, Ted Lieu this week, who's a member of Congress, a former prosecutor, went in and looked at the unredacted files, and I'll read what he said. He said, in those files are hardly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children and threatening to kill children. So a member of Congress said that out loud at the presser. So everybody knows that it's in the files, that Trump, the allegation, now doesn't mean it's true, but you should want to investigate that stuff. But this deal is just like, blah, 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 blah. We don't
Of
hear
course.
anything. So, I mean, what do you think? The idea that he's exonerated, that's his go, whatever it is, I'm exonerated. Like, you're not even close to exonerated.
Who exonerated him? It's like when Michael Scott declared bankruptcy, he just stood there and said, I declare bankruptcy. He's declaring himself exonerated because he wants it to be done. The White House says we're done. The DOJ says we're done releasing them. And the rest of the country's like, well, we're not done. We're never going to be done talking about Epstein ever until the man is finally held accountable for being in there over 1 million times. Just that we know about now, there's still more they haven't released. It's not going away. You don't get to decide when the public is done with you. We decide when we're done with you.
I mean, Leighann, Trump loves his name on things, so maybe we just rename the files. The Trump
We already
files.
did.
I feel like the internet has already done that. But I think we should take this back to a more basic question. Does he know what the word exonerated means? Because he certainly doesn't know what it means when it comes to
5
exonerated
syllables.
5.
Right, you're right. In Central Park, right? The Central Park exonerated file.
And I'm starting to think maybe he thinks he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Do you know what I mean? Like, he thinks he's a Jedi. Like, I am not the pedophile you're looking for.
You like Star Wars, though, right? Not aliens.
I do.
Star Trek?
I do like Star Trek. I do like Star Wars. I even like
I
Dune.
could see him doing this. Yeah.
There we go. If he ever does that, oh my gosh, I would never.
His hands are too small. He can't.
Thank you.
Growing up, my nickname was Obi-Wan Kenobi because of Obeidallah, as you might imagine. So I had a lot of nicknames.
Because you're so wise. It's wiseness.
Wise, or it was simplistic for people when we were growing up. Obeidallah was another big one. And I'm like, Obeidallah, Dean Obeidallah. I hear all the time. I'm like, okay, Dean Obeidallah. A lot of, and then those are nice compared to the bullshit stuff. So it's kind of so okay. Maybe he doesn't know what exonerated is. I think we're on to that. I saw people putting the post from Princess Bride, one of my favorite movies. That word does not mean what you think it means.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Got that going on, and I'm like, yep, I'm exonerated. I think he just keeps repeating it. In this case, it's different. Like, I don't even think his base is buying it. I don't even know where they are on this, but nobody's happy. I saw approval ratings, only 24% are approve of how he's handling Epstein files, 24%. So even half his base is like, nope, this isn't good. We don't like any of this bullshit. And they don't even think he's guilty. They just don't like the way he's handling. So I don't know, Alex, how do you think it ends, the story? I mean, they just want it to go away. They want us to ignore it and goes away. I hope that the survivors continue to be in the press and demand justice and accountability so it never goes away. But maybe it takes the states, like New Mexico is doing a new investigation. Maybe it takes the states to step it up and start investigating more.
I agree with you there. That's what I think. I don't think it's going to come from like a federal level. I am already like, let's bring some positivity to the show. I already am impressed. I already, I mean, I didn't even think they'd ever drop. I didn't think we'd ever see them. I didn't think like, so when even like the first couple things came out, I remember thinking, wow, maybe this could actually be something, because we think about every other, every crisis or like situation is the same where it's like, in hindsight's 2020 and you go, oh, we could have done that. So it's already, I guess, exceeded my expectations. But I mean, in terms of what could happen in the States, I think that if anything's going to happen, we will be the last place that something happens. Like, I could see them trying to drag it out and then doing something to him like after his term is over or something. You know what I mean? Like, I could kind of see, I feel like it's probably going to be similar to when they tried to impeach him, when it was like just a drawn out thing that just kind of will be this shadow over his like legacy as like the president or something. Like, I think it's just going to be throughout history, when you bring it up, like, you're going to be like, oh yeah, and like Abraham Lincoln, oh well, Emancipation Proclamation, oh, and this, and you go, oh, and Donald Trump, oh yeah, the Epstein files. Like, I think it's just going to kind of be
great.
his thing.
Yes, that is his legacy.
Yeah, you think so? So Tara, do you think that will? I mean, I was hoping the coup in this January 6th terrorist attack, but Epstein might even be
quite the legacy he's building.
More,
I mean,
more
take
critical.
your pick, right? I think that because, and it's kind of like what Alex was saying, how many times over this last decade or so have we been like, well, this is going to end him? I mean, the Access Hollywood tape and him making fun of a disabled reporter didn't end him when it should. And so here we are now, but what we're talking about is not just, I mean, the E. Jean Carroll thing was, I think, the thing that gave us this ramp up to the Epstein files. Like, she's the first one that got him accountable on the record, like legally, and that opened up the door for the Epstein files. And this has stuck to him like literally nothing else in his life, nothing else. And it's not going away. And it's not just that it's not going away. It gets worse every day. The more we find out, it gets worse for him and anyone who remains loyal to him. And it's up to us to make sure he wants things to go away. Make sure it's louder. Make sure it sticks to him more. He's wagging the dog at Iran right now because he raped children. That, just bring it back. Bring it all back to they raped children. They are covering up the rape and sex trafficking of children as young as 6, 7, 8, and 9 years old. That is what we should be talking about. As hard as it is to talk about, that's why we should be talking about. And the media has utterly failed the American people by not talking about the Epstein files in the right way.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, but it was this one was thrust upon them in a way because there's so many documents, so much media. Then you had Pam Bondi hearing. I just wonder if it's going to just peter out. Sometimes these things just and the media gets bored with it. That's the problem. So it's going to take people to keep it in the media. It'll take the survivors. And I think Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, the two Congress people, have been doing a good job. I think they will continue to stay on it because the redactions are huge. So we don't even know. The fact that you're not prosecuting anybody with all these victims who are there and are saying, I'll tell you who did this to me, or give me the files. We can go through it. I can identify them for you. And they're like, no, we don't want to talk to you. This is just remarkable.
I think this sounds like a job for The Hague.
Yeah.
It really does. It's the International Criminal Court, or else it's...
Let's get the military tribunal in there.
Yeah.
Or
the United States has abdicated its, being the policeman of the world. So who's the new policeman that's going to come in here, the real grown up in the room, and make this right?
The people who arrested Andrew, apparently. It's up to us to continue to keep this at the forefront, to demand better of our elected officials. I'm lucky here in Oregon. My entire Democratic delegation is all over this and on top of it. But across the country, we it's up to us. And if Democrats handle the midterms correctly, they should steamroll into November because every day the Republicans give them more fodder to work with, right? So all they have to do is be like, we're the ones who want to release the Epstein files and bring justice to the victims. That's all Democrats need to do to win. So let's make sure that's what that needs to be what you run on. I mean, we're trying to protect children. Republicans are protecting the pedophile.
And I'm hoping, and even though this wasn't on the list of topics today, with the tariffs, that Trump pressures Congress to enact it, because the court said Congress can enact the tariffs, which would mean Republicans have to vote for the biggest tax increase basically in our lives, and let them be forced to vote for that before the midterm, which they're never going to do. But I hope he pressures on that. And that would be great. Let them have to fight Trump. Let him primary them and all that kind of stuff, because the Supreme Court's very clear. Congress can do any tariff you want. It's a tax increase. The president can't do it by signature. So, all right, let's talk about, this was kind of creepy, outside of DOJ in the middle of this. So DOJ is not prosecuting Trump, yet they put up a huge picture of Donald Trump, and the words were "Make America Safe Again." And we're all like, yeah, arrest that guy. The guy.
There's the mugshot.
Public enemy number one.
I'm like, at first, is this a wanted poster? Because that would make all the sense in the world. But it's not. It's the creepy 1984 Viva Vendetta, whatever movie you want to talk about, that deals with these things. Everyone's citing, and they're absolutely right. I've been to the Middle East many times for comedy, and the pictures of the leader of that country are everywhere. And that's what, I haven't been in D.C. in this last year, but there's images all over. So, Leighann, what is the point of putting his picture outside of DOJ? He's not the head of DOJ. It's supposed to be an AG.
Isn't he though?
He is.
Isn't he though? I mean, it's so not subtle. But I think that slogan is not good. Make America safe again, because if you know anything about history, ain't nobody safe with massa.
So it's no one safe with the master. All right, so that's what you're going to say. So no one's safe, but some are safe if you stay loyal to him. But at any moment you break from him, you're not safe anymore. That's
I did not have that option. I was never in that orbit, and me and my folks are not safe. Okay,
so you're not safe,
and if
right.
you understand, he's the Scorpion. You are never safe, even if you align yourself with him. So don't get it twisted. I will just say that I miss the days when I wish we could go back to this, when the president would call the DOJ and the DOJ would be like, "How did you get this number?"
After Watergate, there were some of that. We don't have anymore. Did any of you guys see The Marathon Man? The movie is a famous movie.
Is it safe?
Is it safe? Exactly. That's the famous line in the movie. So, Tara, what's the salute to Donald Trump at DOJ? There's no subtlety. There are pictures all over it on a lot of buildings all over DC. You go there, it's like being in Dubai, and here's the sheikh on all the buildings. And that's what they want. The scary thing, and others have shown the picture of Hitler put up all over Germany. Same idea. That's what you do in fascist regimes.
You know what I would love to hang up right next to that photo is the screenshot of my block from Donald Trump that I achieved in August 2015. Because he's a giant fucking coward who is terrified of women who tell the truth about him. I am 5 feet tall and $105, and he's afraid of the truth I tell about him. That is the thing that scares Donald Trump more than anything in the world, is the truth about himself that he cannot tolerate. And that is where his entire life is one big grudge fuck, and I'm tired of paying for it. And Leighann's people are not safe. My people aren't safe either. You don't think the Jews are not safe. We are not safe here. Women aren't safe. Right. Women of color are not safe. People of color are not safe. Jewish people, anybody who's not a white Christian man is
non-billionaires.
Non-billionaires, not safe, not safe. If you're not butt buddies with Peter Thiel, you're in big trouble right now. And so I don't want Peter Thiel owning my country, owning me, owning our freedom, and taking away our First Amendment rights, which is what we're seeing, the systematic taking away of all of our human rights. And all of us should be screaming, regardless of what it says on your voter registration card. This stopped being a political issue a long time ago. It became a human rights issue the second we started talking about the Epstein files. And that's where it needs to stay, because it becomes, what is the future of our country? Our children are being traumatized on the daily between him and ICE and everything that's going on. We need to stand up, and we need to be the ones who are saving the kids, because they really don't care.
Alex, you're not safe with your hat that says Cat's Delicatessen, right?
Yum. That's my people.
I got my own little Jewish pride right here, baby.
Fuck yeah.
So, Alex, do you feel safe? I mean, you can pass as a white guy. You're mixed, obviously. Like, you're like me. We're both mixed. Half white.
I'm a pizza bagel. I'm an Italian Jew. So,
yes,
I have the fear of God and God's anxiety as well.
Oi.
Oh, you have funny jokes about your dad, the Italian guy, going, "Hey, how you doing?" Like this guy. So, like, it's an interesting mix. And I'm half Italian, half Arab, which makes me Semitic as well. And a whole different thing. So, all right. So let's take a break and come back and talk about something lighter, like Stephen Colbert and how Canada hates America in the new polling. It's kind of remarkable. The Canadians are you know how hard it is for Canadians to say they don't like you? They're the nicest people. So, like, whatever this poll is, it's not even close to how much they hate America now. And it's all because of Donald Trump. So let's take a break and come back with more of what just happened right after this. And welcome back. Dean Obeidallah Show. It's continuing here of what just happened. Tara Dublin, Leighann Lord, and Alex Libutti. So the media, the first few days of this week were dominated by Stephen Colbert having James Tallarico almost on his show, who's a Democratic candidate for Senate. And he had him on the YouTube version. But the headlines were so huge because Colbert goes on, says, we interviewed James Tallarico, but I can't show it to you because our lawyers won't let you. And then from there was a lot of back and forth about whose fault was it. In reality, my view, and I'd love to hear you guys, in my view, it was a team effort. It was Trump's FCC warning you about what we don't want, even though it's not formally a rule yet. It's the equal time rule, but they were interpreting it a different way, so it's not been challenged. And CBS lawyers going, hey, we're going to do whatever we want because we're on Team Trump anyway. So if they're just going like, maybe you shouldn't have on these candidates with equal time, so then you'll have no Democrats on in the future, then we're going to do it. So to me, it was a team effort. It's not one or the other. It was the FCC with Brennan Carr, who tried to get Kimmel fired, and CBS lawyers just being so giddy at the fact of obeying the oligarchs who they support. So, I mean, Leighann, what do you think? We are all comedians here on a certain level. I mean, Tara she's kind of funny. She's funny.
Thanks a lot.
Comic. But the rest of us deal with stand-up comedy. Have you ever been on Colbert, Leighann?
No, I have not.
Nor have I.
And if you want to put in a word, I will take it.
Yeah, really.
I've not been on. For equal time, Leighann Lord should be on. Forget James Tallarico. Anytime another comedian's on, my equal time is invaded.
Yeah.
I should be on. Like you had on that comic. Where's my equal time? Where's my happy days?
Dean, I think you'd have a hell of a case here, Dean. I think you can retire if you started taking
equal
clients.
Time. Forget candidates. What about comedians?
We should do tag team. We should do tag team comedy.
You had Rami Youssef on. He's Arab American. Why am I not?
Yeah, you gave him 10 minutes.
It's absolutely bullshit. I should get 5 minutes. I'll settle for 2. I'll haggle. I'm an Arab. Give me a minute and a half. I'll open strong. I'll leave. That's it. We're all done.
Well, just run for office, and that way you can say that you're going on his show. They won't let you on his show, and then you can go on YouTube and get more views than if you did go on his show.
Ding, ding, ding. That's
$2.5 million in 24 hours. You're right. So, Leighann, I mean, what do you think? Is this concerning? I mean, Colbert's leaving in May, but the idea of what the FCC wants and what Trump wants is really showing. They're showing us.
The question is it concerning? I mean, dude, it's all concerning. Like, I barely have the bandwidth for everything that is so concerning. I will say this: they would have been better off, the lawyers, I mean, saying nothing.
Right.
You know,
You're right.
it's almost like, you know, if you're a parent or if you remember how your parents treated you when you were dating somebody they didn't like, the more they didn't like that person, the tighter that bond and that relationship formed. They would have just been, you know what, just let the man on the show. Don't say nothing. Just let this slide. And it would have just slid. And now I'm in New York. Who's James Tallarico? I have no idea. Now I'm watching it going, you know what, I'm an atheist and I like this dude.
Same.
Talks about religion. And to be clear, Colbert, as he noted, he had Jasmine Crockett on, the Democrat running against him twice in this cycle. No one said anything. And the reason is the letter that FCC chair put out was in later January going, hey, you know what, folks? I'm tired of you having The View having Democrats on and late night shows. Tara, I would love to see some of these Republicans forced to go on. Okay, you're going to have that? Now go on Colbert and get the shit kicked out of you on national
That'd be great. I wrote about this, and and I come from music radio, and I was very concerned about them controlling the flow of information between the FCC and the Voice of America, and they're just stomping all over our First Amendment rights. And if you're mad that he's going to talk to a Democrat, insist on the fairness doctrine and have him book a Republican. You choose. And even though he probably would have chose a Republican who's more palatable to talk to, like a Thomas Massie, they probably would have put in somebody who's like really hardcore or whatever, but a Republican wouldn't sit down with him in the first place. So even if he extended that invitation, what they did was they Streisand affected that whole situation, which is what you just said. If they just let it go, everyone would have kind of shrugged and been like, oh, Tallarico was on, cool. And now it's like, Tallarico is the fucking man, bruh. Thanks for helping him raise $2.5 million overnight, Republicans, you dumb fuck. Keep helping Democrats like that. Thank you so much. That's the way to look at it.
Right. I agree. And, just so it's clear, as I mentioned earlier, Brendan Carr is a bad faith actor.
Oh, he's so bad.
Trying to get Jimmy Kimmel fired. He drove him off the air. We can do the easy way, the hard way, and ABC cave. But it was us, the people, the consumers, that said, hey, we're not going to have your Disney Plus. And that's it. I don't feel the sense of boycotts of CBS the same way, though. I don't really feel. I see a little bit of it, but it's not worked up the same way. And I don't know why.
Can you name a show that's on CBS that's not Stephen Colbert? Because I don't know anybody that watches CBS other than Stephen Colbert.
I think we're all too young. And I don't mean to be ageist, but
there's a Matlock. I know there's a Matlock, but that's all I know.
Well, in the future, they're going to rename that Melania. They're going to just call it Trump shows. It'll all be Trump shows, one or the other. Don Jr. in the mornings,
well, he's up all night anyway, so
Libutti, what do you think? The idea of the government pressuring, remember on the right, like leading to this election, those young bro guys, and you're a bro guy, like cancel culture, and they're going to not give us our freedom, and Democrats want to silence you. Now this is really happening. And some of them had, like Andrew Schultz, and some of them are like, okay, this isn't good. And others are just like quiet about it.
It is funny. Some people like now that you'll watch like a new episode of something and they'll like start off, they'll be like,
I may have been wrong on Trump.
You didn't know. No, I mean, it's funny to me. It's kind of like, Tara, what you were saying earlier, where it's like, you kind of have to like decide where you're at. Like, it's like, you can't just like kind of not make noise or something, or not like, I think that the Colbert thing's crazy to me also because, Dean, you know this, but for those of you who may not, I used to be a publicist. So, to have someone like, there were times when there were a handful of times in my life where in that career where like you would email someone from Fox or you'd email someone from like CNN and they would come back with like, no one would ever say like, no, we're not going to do this. But like, sometimes you'd have to maybe massage something a little bit for each person that you're pitching to, which is fine. But this is not like, oh, well, this channel leans more conservative or this channel leans more like this to me is like when you were like remember when you were like playing like a game like on the playground and then like you'd go and tag your friend and then he'd be like, oh no, I actually just changed the rules now, the slide is safe, and you'd be like, wait, what? I thought, because that's kind of what they did with the Equal Time Act.
Yeah,
like
he changed it in January.
late shows were excluded from it, and then all of a
years.
sudden they were like, well, maybe not, and then it's like he says that and then like a few days later they're like, oh well, look at this, now this is interesting here, like, oh, perfect timing. So it's like, to me it makes it's scary because it's like, obviously the media has its own idea, but yeah.
No, but I think it's a great point that the FCC equal time rule did not apply by FCC's interpretation for 20 years. They had a big thing with the Jay Leno case, so it was never an issue. All of a sudden they get in and they're like, we've got to get them off the air. I don't want to see Democrats anywhere. Let's do equal time. And all I have to do is offer Republicans, and a lot of them are going to say no, and then they can do it. But Leighann, one thing about the bros, I was on a cable news show, and they showed a clip of Joe Rogan saying he didn't like something Trump did, and the anchor thought it was a big deal. I'm like, well, when you've lost Joe Rogan, you've lost Joe Rogan. Like, I don't give a shit about Joe Rogan, but for some reason, people in corporate media look at Joe Rogan like he's a bellwether of all these young guys. I don't even think people listen to him. They view him as a follower. They just like what he talks about. Am I missing something?
I'm sorry. Who's Joe Rogan?
Exactly.
I love you.
You guys.
I mean, I probably don't know him because I'm not in the demographic.
White guy, young white angry guy.
I need them to be older and more liberal. Like, you give me like a Bernie Sanders, maybe, when he's not just talking about class. And yeah. But young and angry? Sorry.
I think it's funny, Tara, that the corporate media, what they put weight into like it matters. Like Joe Rogan, I don't know if he swayed any voters. Like, having someone on the show might expose that person to the audience that doesn't know him. That's it. I don't think they're looking for leadership from Joe Rogan. So they're like, well, Joe Rogan flipped on ice now. What do you think? I'm like, I don't give a shit. I want to say I don't give a shit, but I can't. I'm on cable news. Like,
another mediocre white guy found out. Shrug. Why is this breaking news? We have been telling the truth about Trump all along. I personally have been telling the truth about Trump since 2015, waving my arms frantically. Not just him, but like his main adult children, all of the people around him, most of his administration, and a lot of people that protect him. They don't want us telling the truth about Trump. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what your platform is. They want to silence anything that's true about him. And that is the number one issue that the mainstream media is just like, wait. That's why he bullies them. That's why people, if you're afraid of a mean tweet, quit your job and give it to me, because I'm not afraid to ask the hard questions. That's why I get blocked. They don't like the questions I ask. They don't like the truth that we tell. That's why we got to be louder. And so Joe Rogan says something and the white kids are like, wait, we got lied to. The same Joe Rogan who wouldn't leave his basement studio to go interview Kamala Harris where she was because she couldn't come to him. Sorry, like, I don't care about your white guy feelings. I cannot, not when we are fighting for our democracy as hard as we're fighting. That's not the issue.
I like that. I don't care about your white guy feelings. That should be a bumper sticker.
And I'm the mother of two white guys, okay? They're half Jewish white guys, but right now we have to be screaming the truth about what this government is doing, and what they are doing is silencing their vocal opponents. And that is a huge story.
I agree with you. So let's talk about Canada. Leighann, have you performed in Canada? Have you done comedy shows in Canada?
I have. I've been to the festivals, Halifax, Montreal, Edmonton. I've been up there.
Nice people?
I'm hoping that they have an asylum program.
They're gonna were they nice? Like, did you find, when I did a lot of shows in Canada, I found them to be some of the nicest people?
Yes, absolutely.
And,
as a New Yorker, anybody's nicer than us. Well, except maybe the French. I do well in France as well because it's the same level of snarky.
So my point is, the Canadians, they're all about nice. Like Minnesota nice. The whole country's that. But now Donald Trump has pissed them off so much that a new poll this week found out Canadians really don't like us. Now, I don't think it's personal. I'm sure they'd say you're one of the good ones, all three of us, or at least Leighann and Tara. But here's what we found out. Only 37% of Canada say the U.S. is still an ally. Only 37%. At one point, we were their closest ally. We were their BFFs. They were in the North, we were in the South, we're buddies, we hang out, we play hockey against each other, and NBAs that still have the Toronto Raptors. And nearly 70% of Canadians say the U.S. tends to create problems for other countries rather than solve them. I mean, that should actually be a higher number. That should really be about 90%, because I don't know if any problem, as we sit here as a flotilla heads to Iran for reasons we don't even know. There's been no case made to the country about why we're about to bomb Iran, other than Trump thought it's kind of fun to do. Someone told him it's the right thing to do, and he's not even sure. So, Libutti, have you ever been to Canada? You know, Canadian comedians, they tend to be nice.
I have never been to Canada. I'm a patriot, but I do know Canadians, and no, Canadians are awesome, dude. Canadians are super nice. So if Canadians are if Canadians are getting the bacon in a bunch, then I think that that's pretty crazy. Also, think about the types of people who answer polls, right? So it's like the amount of people who are angry enough to like answer this is I mean, they got. What is it? It's 39 or 37%. I mean, what poll ever gets more than like 500 people or 100? You know what I mean? So it's like to have that many people come out for a poll that also like doesn't really matter, like is telling, I think.
That's interesting. You're right, because we get surveys all the time, and I'm like, I'm not doing this, but this one like about America. Yeah, I'll do this one.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hold my beer. Hold my Tim Hortons.
So,
it
sucks. I mean, I hope that they. I mean, I think that most people don't hold. Like, I don't agree with every decision America, the country, makes, but I don't hate Americans. And hopefully that is. Right. That is how they could feel too, hopefully, at least maybe when the dust settles.
Tara, I mean, the countries that like us are the ones that we should like as America. It's more like Viktor Orban in Hungary, where he's authoritarian.
Yeah, no. I think all the ones that like us are the ones that we were told to be scared of and like not.
Putin likes Trump. I don't know how Russians view America.
I think what you need to do is change the language of that poll and say that Canadians are mad at Republicans, because Republicans are the ones who are doing it. It's not the Democrats. It's not your average American. Your average American isn't even on most social media. I don't know where they're getting their news from these days. My only experience with Canada, recent experience, was last year when I went to the final Taylor Swift concert in Vancouver, BC, and it was fantastic. And everyone was friendly and super nice. And no one was mad at me for being an American, because I was a Swiftie, and that supersedes any nationality, because it's an international currency to be a Swiftie. But
it's a world nationality.
Again, no one was mad that I was an American Swiftie in Canada. They were very welcoming. But the point being, it's the Republicans who are doing this. It's the Republicans who are making us look bad internationally. It's their fealty to Trump that makes our country weak. It's not us. We're the strong ones. We're the strength. We're the backbone. Democrats will recover somehow, some way. But today, what we need to be doing is just making sure the truth is the thing that gets to the top, and not get distracted by the distractions that the Republicans are creating. And that's where we get mired down.
Yeah, and then look, keep in mind, just a week ago, Canada said we're about to open the bridge that's been building for years between Michigan and the U.S. And Trump's like, no, you can't open unless you give me half the bridge.
Fuck him.
He literally wants half the bridge, like this shakedown. Like Alex, like your dad. Like,
hey, I was gonna say he's literally my dad.
Nice bridge there.
Like, well, hold on, you're gonna come into our country. I think we should get a little something.
Yeah,
he's the troll. He's like the troll in the Three Billy Goats Gruff.
He's the troll.
Trip trap. You can't cross my bridge without paying a toll. I hate him so much.
I think Godfather 2, where the guy's like, I just want to wet my beak. I'm not trying to take all of it.
Hey, Fanucci.
Exactly. That's right. He's like, give me a little thing here. I'm going to put my hat out. You put something under the hat. I'll take the hat back. Whatever's under there is mine. No big deal. And that's like what happens. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, Canada's like, we're a little light this week, Mr. Trump. Like, we're a little light. Too bad your bridge is gone. That's what we're living through right here.
Nice bridge. No. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
I think it's just a matter of time before Canada starts building its own wall.
They should. I agree. All right, so we have just 5 minutes left. I know how much you're so excited about talking aliens or Olympics. Maybe we combine it. Olympic aliens? Should there be Olympics for the aliens?
I would watch.
I'd fucking watch that too. Interstellar
right,
Olympics.
Exactly.
Be intergalactic planetary. Yes.
Yeah, Beastie Boys.
The Klingons take it all.
Fuck yeah.
The Klingons.
There's always like
Klingons.
backstories of like, Pluto's a small planet. It's not even a planet anymore, but they won 3 golds this year. Like that would be the stories. And
They've got moxie.
right. They got these guys on Mercury. Man, they keep winning every race. Come on,
Hot
that's
streak.
all.
I hope they're real. I do hope
You don't watch the Olympics. None of you follow the Olympics at all, Alex. At all? Nothing.
Yeah, when I said I hope they're real, I meant the Olympics, not aliens.
You don't. No, but like the women's hockey team winning an exciting game yesterday.
That's
nothing
fucking
doesn't-
awesome.
You know what? Unfortunately, the only story I know is the condom one. That's the only story.
I don't even know that one.
Okay,
What's the
look,
condom one?
I
It's
don't
that
go to
they-
the gym, and I think watching people who are at their peak physical condition only makes me feel worse. So no,
Yeah.
I don't watch.
Oh.
So it's a form of
Yeah.
self-care, Leanne.
Yes,
So,
yes.
at the gym, they
I'm
should play
protecting
that
my
game.
bubble.
What would you prefer at the gym? Like old timers game at the Yankees? Just like all like guys out of shape in their 50s throwing baseballs would be better? Like,
Oh, you mean Tinder?
no. Old timers game. at
You
the
said
Yankee
old timers. I'm like,
Or
yeah.
You said old timers and balls. That's what you said.
Tinder.
That's what I got. From that.
So aliens, and what's so funny when I put on the list aliens, Leanne, I thought you would like. Leanne does a lot of stuff with science fiction. Is that the right way of putting it? And you like
Well,
science fiction. So I thought you
I
would
am
like,
science adjacent because I used to be one of the co-hosts on Star Talk with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, and so people put me in that category, and I'm like, I am science adjacent.
The cosmos.
Right, exactly. But they also know me as being a huge Star Trek fan. Like I go to Dragon Con every year. This year will be my 12th year.
Wow.
Going. So yeah, I go. I tell nerdy jokes. I moderate, panels about Wakanda. It's amazing.
you dress as one of the characters ever? Do you do the cosplaying?
Yeah.
And you're not going to tell us which one? You're
Oh,
gonna
come
tell-
on, man. Of course it's Lieutenant Uhura.
I didn't want to say that. I'm like, that's type guys. Like
That is typecasting, but
all
I
12
also
years?
I also go as Ida B. Wells. Someone brings the outfits for me, and I dress up in the old timey outfit and the hat, and like I'm walking around finding injustice.
B.
It's great.
Could you ever, if you could do whiteface, is there one character you would play? Because you could do whiteface. No one would care. If you could be, like, is there anyone?
I think you have to be William Shatner, right? At that point.
I don't know.
Captain Kirk,
Mm-mm.
Spock. You can do the hand.
Oh wait,
thing.
how are we defining the word "do"? Because Commander Avery Sisko was really hot.
You can do it. That's who you'd be. That's it. All right. Before we run out of time,
Fully out of my element. Okay.
I've never. Matt, my producer, goes to a Comic-Con thing where they dress up, and it looks like fun. Like it
Yes.
looks like a lot of fun. And people
Wait,
enjoy
Matt
it.
does? If Matt does it, I might go. I don't
All right.
know.
New York
Tara's gonna
Comic-Con
go.
is no joke.
Do you go? What do you go to? Libutti, you go to any of them? Do you go
Oh,
to-
no, I haven't been to them, but I just know about them just from
It's a
working
huge
in
deal.
PR.
Yeah,
and
New York
just, like,
Comic Con, all the cons are serious
Ah,
business for the folk who go.
For real.
I want to go to Arab Con, where we all dress as our favorite characters from Aladdin. I'm gonna be Jafar.
And
So,
Dean
all right.
Obeidallah just got canceled.
I
Yeah,
am
Dean, that was the
Arab.
Riyadh Comedy
I would
Festival.
be so
Dean.
happy.
That was the.
Or I'm going to talk to Zohar Mandani about doing Muslim Con. Muslim to drive the right wing even crazier. Like
That's
everybody's
awesome.
Muslim for a day in New York and watch Fox News. Before we run out of time, Tara, where can people follow you?
I have a website, TaraDublinRocks.com, and that will link you to all of my socials. Please buy my book, The Sound of Settling, a Rock and Roll Love Story, and I am monumentally available to be represented by an agent so I can finally get the proper publishing deal of my dreams. I'm an untapped writing gold mine. Get in on it.
That's it. Leighann Lord, what about you, my friend?
You can find me at veryfunnylady.com. That is also the key to me and all my socials. And also still writing on Substack and loving it. So yes, plug for that to my Substack family for making that so much fun. And I'm going to be performing tomorrow night, Saturday night. Saturday night at West Side Comedy Club. That's my home club in New York City.
In New York City. And Libutti, what about you? Where can people follow you?
I have a website. I have a website as well. It's my first and last name, alexlibutti.com. Buy tickets, guys. You're taking your time. Buy tickets. It's got my sketch comedy radio show on there too, all the links and all that BS. And maybe I'll see Dean tomorrow. Dean and I might be doing a show tomorrow.
At New York Comedy Club.
Is it
great.
called
I'll see you
Kick
there.
Libutti? Is your website called Kick Libutti? Because it should be.
But let me call my guy right now.
Untapped writing gold mine. My mind is worth multi-millions. Let's go.
You guys have all been great.